Let me get that. Yeah, the music's going. All right, cool. Hey everybody, bit of a different stream today. No game, no art. Technically still art, but it's gonna be a little different today. I'm gonna be checking out a GameMaker project that I started on a while back and never finished because it was, well, finished is a big word. It was supposed to be like an entire video game. Maybe I set the bar too high. Maybe I just lost interest. I don't know. I think that's also something I'm trying to figure out today. I have not opened this file in months, and I just want to check it out again. I just want to open it. I want to see if streaming it can somehow motivate me to sort of get back into it. This is going to be a very experimental, different kind of stream because, yeah, like I said, this is a game that I never finished. It's something that I worked on for a bit. Really enjoyed. I remember really enjoying working on this because I hadn't done GameMaker stuff in a long time. Also, Flo, hello, how are you doing? Welcome. I don't know how interesting the stream will be. It will be interesting for me, that's for sure. I specifically try to do this, like this is a me stream. This one's definitely for me. As with other streams, I try to, you know, like be entertaining and all that stuff. But this one is definitely going to be sort of a more of an experimental one, I guess. Yeah. It's, I don't know quite what to expect. I haven't opened this file in months. So let's just dive in and see what we find. Bloop. This is it. If this already looks complex to you, how about this? Wait, hold on. How about this? All of this stuff. I was making a little game with my characters. It never got past what I have right now. And yeah, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot of code, a lot of tutorials, a lot of work, a lot of hours. But there's something about it that caused me to never finish it. Flickosaur, hello, hi, by the way. Just saying hi to people in chat. Thank you for stopping by, I appreciate it. Even though the stream may be a little boring, it's just me checking out a GameMaker project. You know, if anything, you'll get a sneak peek at something that I never finished or never showed anywhere else. Hey Chris, hello! How are you? Glad you could make it. It's really something. It's just so weird for me to be like back into this file after just kind of dreading opening this. But hey, this is as far as I've come in a very long time with this game. Because there's just something that's been blocking me. And I will be using this as like a personal, like, what do you call it? I wouldn't say self-therapy session because it's not that. It's more like I'm going to be writing down some thoughts that I have while I'm going through this. I'll also just be vocalizing my thoughts, obviously. I'll be talking out loud. Yeah, I'm just kind of trying to figure out why the heck I couldn't continue with this project. Because that's the thing that's been bothering me for months. It's been so annoying. Because I really, like I said, I enjoyed working on this. Had a blast. Look at all the little spaceships I made. Yeah, there's a lot here. Like controller objects. You know, I'll, just also for myself to recap, because I haven't worked in this. I keep saying it, but I really haven't done this in such a long time. There's like so many objects here that have like specific purposes. I'll talk you through it, like what it means. Maybe it'll be interesting for people to hear, like, hey, how a game is made, I guess. I'm no expert by any means, but I still know like a couple of basics of how this thing works. So yeah, I made the YouTube chat competitive. Yeah, the flipping XP system. It's so weird. It's funny though. Also, M/, hello. So you're doing GameMaker for the first time. First time doing a GameMaker stream, not the first time doing GameMaker. Just to clarify, I did a lot of GameMaker stuff in high school with a friend of mine. And it was so much fun. We used to make like little games, but again, the same thing happened back then, that we would start projects but never quite finish them or continue them. Like after a while, we both got burned out on it so quickly, and then we moved on to different stuff. And then later picked it back up again or like started over from scratch. So, I don't know, maybe I'll finally be able to untangle this weird mystery of why my brain can't just like continue working on a project like this. We'll see. How about we just start it up and see what's in there, huh? Hope this works. Might be a separate window, so I'll need to switch. Yeah, I gotta switch. Okay, one second. Okay, so. There we go. Let me tweak that slightly. Doesn't quite fit in the frame. There we go, there we go. Good enough, good enough, good enough. Okay, so this is the blank first, like, a room that you enter. Like, GameMaker uses rooms, which are like levels, basically. It's just one screen and all the stuff that's on there. Now, there's some controller objects in the top left. Normally, those would be invisible, but, you know, this is all for testing anyway. Those control, like, your button inputs and being able to escape, like, hit escape and exit the game. and keep track of your score and all that stuff. That's basically what controller objects do. And they stay like persistent so that they continue existing throughout the rest of your game if they just are put into a room once. Now, if I recall correctly, my debug controls was something like F3. I think that takes me to the next room. There we go, my title screen. Hey, this still works. Alright, there's a credits thing, you can quit. There's settings as well. I don't know if that still works. No, let's try it out. Settings. Doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, right. My friends were helping me a lot with this. So I already put their names in this non-existent credits for this non-existent game. You can quit, of course, and you can start. Now let's just start, see what happens. Alright, I put in some dialogue. Forgot about this. Like, this is the dialogue system I was trying to build. I'm honestly impressed I got this far. I got my character portrait, I got my little screen where the text goes. You have no idea how hard it is to just type text in a program like this. Like, oh my god, I had to rewrite the text building system and all that. It was a whole mess. And now you have to, like, if you press a button, it continues to the next line of dialogue. Right, and there's fucking dialogue options that are definitely not correctly in the frame. And the thing is, like, if you, this is all test dialogue, so don't take it too seriously. But, if you press, like, if you select a different answer, it's supposed to go to, like, different dialogue. Let's see, if I select pancakes? I don't know if that's the pancake option or not, it's so non-specific. Right. Right, and this was the actual game part of the game. It doesn't work, because I set it to a controller. Oops. It's supposed to, like... Oh, no. Yeah, oh, it works with my controller. It works with my controller. There's like a dash move, and you can do this. And you can die. That's good. And there's like explosion effects if you beat an enemy. It's all like temporary effects and stuff. But hey, this actually, I can't believe this actually works. And it's pretty fun too. Like, this controls pretty satisfyingly. Like, you can just move your ship around, you can shoot. Oh, I see the trail effect doesn't work anymore. Like, so, you see like the little blue fire like behind the ship? That's actually to like show like how fast your ship is moving and all that, and like which direction it's going in. It's supposed to, like, the image for the ship, it's supposed to react to how you're moving. Like, if you go to the left, like the left spark, like the blue thing coming out of the engine, is supposed to be like bigger and brighter than the other one, for example. And the ship is supposed to tilt left and right a little bit when you do that. So I don't know. Maybe I broke something. Hold on. If I go back and then I go over here again, does it work again? No, it doesn't. I guess something must have broken in the animations somewhere along the way. But yeah, there's enemy ships. I was gonna do like the first level is gonna be like a police chase or something, where the main character has to escape. I'm glad I got this far, to be honest. I think this would be the last. Yeah, that's definitely the last one. This was just like a test one. There's nothing more. That's the entire thing. But I feel like, you know, I'm still pretty proud of how far I got. But that's where I stranded. That's where it all went to shit, and I just ended up in this weird slump where I couldn't work on it anymore. Alright, let me quit that. Cool, I can see the comments again. Let me see. If I switch back to the GameMaker screen first, there we go. There we go. Alright, what did you think? Let's see. Not a bad menu screen, thanks. It was a temporary one. It just got the flipping... whatchamacallit. That was just some like art that I did a while back. That I just put on there because it was the only image that was big enough. Dialogue-driven shooter. Yes, exactly. It was my idea for the game was both a visual novel and a shoot-'em-up game. But more of like an accessible shoot-'em-up, not the crazy kind where it's like a billion bullets and it's really difficult. Like more of a just an easier one, more Star Fox-esque than something like, I don't know. I don't know too many of those like big shoot-'em-up games, to be honest. Because I'm just not that into them. I remember playing this like little shoot-'em-up game as a kid called Demon Star, which was really fun. It's very simple. You just kind of have a ship and there's enemies and you got to shoot stuff and you get power-ups and all that kind of jazz, you know. And I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to make something like that, but also combine it with my characters and a story, because I really wanted to tell a story with these characters. Let me move the screen just slightly to the right. It's off by a few pixels. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I I really wanted to tell a story of my characters because I had so many ideas for it, you know? And for that, of course, you need to do two things. Like, you need to have, like, the base game, which is shooting stuff and flying upwards, which is not that complicated. I believe that anybody could make that with a couple of tutorials. You just have, like, I'll show you, actually. This is the level. It's just a very tall stage that you go through, and at the very end, there's, like, this is, like, the camera. The camera, like, snaps down to the very bottom of the room immediately when the game starts, so that it follows your character, who spawns somewhere over here. Like, one of the control objects makes the character spawn. Then you put, like, a bunch of ships over here, and the ships, they only start moving whenever they enter the view of the camera. Yeah, like Galaga. Exactly, kind of like that. Now into endless space! Let's see, there was more dialogue, too. Like, I had more stuff there. I had, like, a different character. Portraits and... I'm trying to remember. Whatever, we'll get through it today. I'm just gonna be going through this project file a little bit. I don't know what my goal is. I'm just glad I have it open again, you know. Great stream, Mark C. Awesome. Yeah, the ship is intentionally shaped like a bee because I thought my character Aster kind of looked like a bee with the color scheme, so I thought it would be fun. Reminds you of Space Invaders Extreme. I love Space Invaders Extreme. I forgot I love that game. Thank you for bringing it up. I played the heck out of the second one on DS. It was so fun. Yeah, like Galaga 2. Is that more efficient than having just one screen with a scrolling background? It is more efficient for what I wanted to do specifically, because... Space Invaders Extreme 2 was on DS, yeah. It was really fun. Now, the thing is, I want to have, like, specifically designed levels, you know? Like, I want to have enemies, like, appear as exactly where I want them to appear. Now, you can also just program, like, oh, well, you're just in, like, a little box, you know? Like, you're here, you're just in the center at all times. It doesn't scroll any farther than that. And the background scrolls and enemies just come into view, you know? But it's not what I wanted. I wanted, like... I don't know if it's as efficient... But I really just wanted to be able to place the enemies exactly where I wanted to place them. So that they would appear exactly when I wanted them to appear. I don't know. It's, you can use like one giant room for it. I know you can also just use like a small box and have stuff appear in that. But it's so complicated and it feels like less flexible, you know? I like being able to drag and drop stuff into this big room. And just kind of figure it out from there. So that's what I went with for now. And it doesn't seem to have like a big impact on performance anyway, because the enemies, when you look at the code for them, let's check that out. It's actually not that complicated, like it's really just using a couple of standard functions that are in GameMaker. GameMaker is a very beginner-friendly program, which I can really recommend to anyone. It's free, you can just check it out, you can just write some code for it. And if you forget what it is, you just write like these annotations, you know, like you'll... for example, like, this is for tracking how much the portrait shifts during the placement of the text. It was optional, so I didn't really use this much. Bad example, then. But, like, all the code below this is for portraits. So, like, the sub-images, which is just, like, the frames of the sprite. A sprite is, like, a little pixel animation of a character, and an animation has different frames. 24 frames per second. Well, in games, it's 60. And the sub-image variable that you create here is 0, and it, like, goes up by 1. So it cycles through the frames of the animation as it goes. It sounds a little complex, but, like, once you get into it, it's really quite intuitive, I'll say. And there's tons of good tutorials for it, so yeah. Anyway, I was gonna look into... Here's the different dialogue. Did I actually... Blasting booties in space. Yeah, this is good stuff, Mark. Good stuff, past Mark. Really good. How come your name is Jazz? Did your parents just like the genre, or is it like a metaphor? I'm not Jazz, her character portrait hasn't been programmed yet. Awesome. Right, pancakes. Okay, if you choose pancakes, you do get hell yeah, so I think the dialogue actually worked. Because if we chose eggs, she would start talking about scrambled eggs. I don't think there was anything for the third option. Like, go to hell. No, I don't think there was anything for that. Anyway, I was gonna look at the ship. Cutscenes start. Alright, the cutscenes, of course. The font that I used. The sprites of the character talking. Like, if you look into it, here's like the different frames. I just drew this on real quick because I needed like a test sprite. This is like her mouth closed, this is her mouth open, and it just cycles through these 2 frames at a specific speed that you set. Whoops. Rogue is here. Also has 2 frames for the animation. But sometimes that's all you need. I was looking for a specific enemy though, like it's a background. The grayed out character portrait when they're not talking but still present in the scene. I wanted to do something with that. Selection thing for dialogue selection. You still make minigames in WarioWare do-it-yourself. Awesome. That's really cool. I wish I could have gotten into that one as a kid. Levels in Mario Maker 2. Nice. I'm still sad that Mario Maker 1 is no longer supported. I really enjoyed that for when it was a thing. You have lots of game ideas, can't get yourself to even get coding. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Just out of curiosity, what's blocking you? Like, is there anything in particular? Is it like setting the bar too high for yourself? Is it just that it's too intimidating? Or is it like frustrating to learn? Like, what is it? I'm very curious about that because I am struggling with this one as well. And I'm open to anybody's perspective at this point. Let's see. I was gonna look at the enemy. This one's called a faller because they just kind of fall down. Let's see. Let's have a look at this one. There's an afterburner. That's the thing I was talking about. Like that's a little fire thing coming out of the engine. Image index direction. Direction means like which, you know, where it's going. It's like the rotation of it. It's the sprite is rotated by 270 degrees, I think, pretty much. Oh, that doesn't seem quite right. GameMaker is weird about like angles and stuff, but direction just means like where it's gonna go, like in which direction it's gonna fly, and it uses like angles, so degrees. That's why there's a 270 here. Ship animating is false. Okay, so this means that the ship isn't animating, I guess. Maybe it starts animating at a different thing. Image speed, image index. I was gonna look up something specific for this ship, but I forgot what it was. Right, mock create event. Okay, so... Okay, I remember this. Now there's something that I'm looking for here. Activated. This one. Now... when you have like a shit ton of enemies on your screen, and you have a giant level, you don't want everything to be active. Because when objects are active and your computer needs to keep track of where they are and what they're doing, your PC is gonna overheat and explode. Like, you know, that's why frame drops happen in games. That's why flipping glitches happen. You need to be able to... put some objects in like inactive mode so that the computer doesn't need to keep track of where it is and what it's doing, basically. Like nothing can happen with the object, it's just inactive. And it needs to become active as soon as it's inside the view, you know? Like when the camera sees it, it needs to suddenly become active again. So I wonder how I did that. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Now if the instance exists, okay, so if this object exists, okay, so that will be true. Yes, the object exists. And activated is false. Activated is true. Alarm 4. Wait until shoot. Okay. Trying to understand this. The object always exists. So that's not a problem. And activated is equal to false. Now, activated is always equal to false because when the object is made, activated is false. Then activated becomes true. And alarm 4 becomes wait until shoot. Wait until shoot is equal to a number, I presume? Interesting. What is wait until shoot? Why is that there? Wait until shoot. Wait until shoot. I presume that would be somewhere in the code, right? Draw. Like this is... the draw event is for like drawing the images, you know? When you have a ship and you want to draw the ship. This is for the afterburner specifically. That's the blue thing. This is the ship. And you gotta set it to like rotate, you gotta set like how big it is, you gotta set like where it's gonna be drawn. It's just a bunch of like different parameters you can set. I'm still baffled by this. What does wait until shoot mean? Why did I write that there? What does it do? It does something, because clearly the thing shoots. Alarm 4 will create a bullet that fires at the ship in the direction of the player. So I'm curious. Wait until shoot. Wait until shoot. Like, I get that the alarm 4. Alarm 4 is like it's like an alarm clock you can set, you know? If you set the alarm to 60, then after 60 frames of animation and just the game running, so which is like equal to 1 second, something will happen, which you can set here at the event of alarm 4. That all makes sense. I just wonder, like, I haven't seen it. I presume it's a game. Let me look it up real quick, actually. Yes, I'm curious. Tyrion. Open source vertical scrolling shooter video game released in 1995? Interesting. Yeah, kind of like one of those. It's like one of those bullet hell games. Looks pretty sick, not gonna lie. But again, I'm not so super into the vertical shoot 'em up games when they're like really difficult and there's like a billion bullets on screen. Like, it just becomes so daunting at that point, you know? That's why I wanted to make something more simple, something more like action focused, something like Star Fox. Let's see. You gotta start small, even love the simple little thing you started, but you can't get yourself to continue no matter what. Maybe you're setting yourself up for failure, or you're lazy as heck, or coding just isn't for you. I see. That sounds tough, first of all. Like, sorry to hear that. Because, hey, it sounds like you really enjoyed it, and you couldn't continue it. And yeah, I can absolutely relate. But, first of all, you're probably not lazy. Like, the thing with laziness is very much like something that people call each other. But a person is rarely actually lazy. It's usually something else blocking them from doing something. Not quite bullet hell. Tyrion tries to keep you in the game while still being really fun. Even the hard difficulty is kind of easy. Okay, well, that sounds like my kind of game then, maybe. Because I'm not super big into very difficult games. Sometimes. It really depends. I would have to be very invested in a game for me to, like, really get into it, you know? Like, Pikmin 2, for example. Like, my god, Pikmin 2 is full of shenanigans. It certainly gets very difficult, but I'm still playing it. I'm taking a break from it right now, but I was playing it for a while. I wonder. Wait until shoot. Where the heck is wait until... Can I search in GameMaker? Can I do, like, a Control F? Can I do, like, a thing? Can I look for something? Can I search? Wait until shoot. No, that's just the assets like objects and sprites and all that stuff. So I am very curious. I presume normally you set this kind of stuff here at create, you know? Normally you just set it over here. So I am puzzled. Is it in anything else? Image blend? No, that just... I think this does something like making the image flicker when the ship is hit. This makes the ship stop animating. This creates an image. No, this creates an object of a bullet that fires at the enemy. Yoshi's Island DS. I never got far into that one. This draws the ship sprite and the afterburner. And this is the destroy event. I understand. Okay. Figured it out. So you see this little window down here. It says that this object has a parent. When an object has a parent, it means that it is... Well, it has that object as its dad, basically. If you look at the parent object, like object killable, which is this one. No, wait a minute. Okay, not quite what I was looking for, but interesting as well. It says right here that, oh, like, when this object is destroyed, something will happen. Like, it will create a particle, like an explosion. And that's it. I think that's pretty much it. That's all it does. Just whenever an object is killable, I wanted it to create an explosion effect. Now, because Faller is a child object of this parent object, the same thing will happen when it's destroyed. Like, you see this little symbol over here, it means it's linked to this parent object, which means it inherits this piece of code automatically. So whenever it's destroyed, it will make an explosion. Now, this doesn't answer my question, because I still don't know where the heck that thing comes from with the wait until shoot thing. Interesting. Huh. Notes can have daddy issues too. What a nice family. Yeah, GameMaker objects would never have flipping family drama. Oops. No, go away. I opened the manual by accident, hold on. I forgot that clicking with the middle mouse button does that. Okay, now I'm starting to see... Direction is 270, that makes sense. Image index is 0, sure. Afterburner sprite image is 0, okay. Ship animating is false. HP is 6, so it can get hit like with 6 bullets. It can get hurt, because can hurt is set to true. Then there's a bunch of stuff here that I'm not using, because it's grayed out like this. Like if it's green, it means it's not being used. This means that... this code was for making it follow like a specific path. Like making the ship follow a zigzag pattern when it's on the screen. But I couldn't quite figure it out because the ship is also moving down. So I was having some trouble with that. I know, I couldn't quite figure it out. Now, I just don't... What is wait until shoot, dang it? This is baffling me. Like, it's just... There's just a line here that I don't understand. Interesting. Could it be defined in a different object? Probably not, because then it would look different. It would say something like, oh, this object dot wait until shoot. Then it would be referring to a value that is created in a different object. But that's not the case here. So I don't know. Father calls it a bug, mother calls it a feature. Nice. Good fun to make though. Yeah, yeah. Games are fun to make. It's just, I wonder if it's stuff like this, you know, that just gets me frustrated and that it stops me from continuing. I'm still not closer to working again on this game. Like, I just know that when I close this file, like after I'm done with the stream, I'm not gonna continue it. And I am so baffled as to why. Like, that's the thing that I can't just wrap my brain around. That's what I'm trying to figure out today. Well, of course, also showing you some stuff, which could be fun. But, maybe we'll just have to leave this be for now. Wait until shoot, wait until shoot. What would it be? What is wait until shoot? Maybe we look at variable definitions. There we go! I'm a genius! My brain is enormous, my ass is huge. Okay, let's see. Wait until shoot is equal to 50. So you can define values like this, like what is wait until shoot? Well, it's equal to 50, of course. Hey Raimani, hello! How you doing, man? Shoutouts to Raimani, by the way. Like, first of all, Rai is so cool. Second of all, he helped me a lot, like, while I was making this game, with, like, answering some of my questions. And I really appreciated that, so thanks. Current music is pretty fitting for this UI. It's from, good old Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. Because I like that soundtrack a lot, and I needed something cozy and fun that I like. Wish you could help, but it's all gobbledygook to you. No worries, no worries. Wait until shoot was equal to 50. Okay, so you define that in the variable definitions. I just didn't have the tab open, that's why I was like searching for it, like, oh my god, where is it? Let's see. Wait until shoot is equal to 50. Okay, that makes sense. Now I'm wondering how the activation thing works. I think activated is a thing that already exists in GameMaker? Pretty sure. I'm trying to figure out how I made this like mock create events, because the problem is when the object is inactivated, you can't just activate it out of itself. Like, if an object is deactivated and there's a line of code inside of the object that says, oh, it's gonna be active again, that line will never be read because the object is inactive, you know? So either an outside source would have to make it active again, or I tried some kind of trick here. And that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Oh yeah, Impossible Lair is such a fun game. Can highly recommend playing it. Everything else ukulele related, can't recommend. Let's see. So, I'm thinking... I think I tried like a loophole here or something, because I want the spaceship to become active when it's inside the view, you know? When the camera scrolls past it, and the ship is like, oh, I can shoot this thing now. Not even the remake of Yuka? No. First of all, I don't like supporting Platonic, the studio behind Yooka-Laylee, because they laid off a bunch of their staff. They never did the stretch goals that they promised to do with the very first Kickstarter, which I backed and still feel betrayed about. And it's just, yeah, it's just shit. Like, I don't feel comfortable supporting the studio right now. And also, I played the demo for that remake, just to check it out. It's nothing special. It's really just like, is it better than the original? Sure. But, is it good? It's acceptable, I guess, but like, I wasn't really having fun with it. I can think of like a billion other games that I'd rather play. But hey, that's my opinion. A game opinion. Thanks for... Okay, whatever. I'm gonna drink some water real quick, because I ate a big pizza earlier, and my throat is killing me. There we go. More like Yooka-Laylee. Bro throated the pizza? I absolutely did. I ate that shit like a baby bird, and then I threw it up like a mama bird, and then I ate it again like a baby bird. Oh my god, that reminds me of, there must have been like Jimmy Neutron or something, like the show, where he had like this time device, and he was like drinking a milkshake, and then he like rewinded time just on himself, so he would throw up the milkshake like, back into the milkshake thing, and then he would drink it again, and he would do this over and over. That was disgusting, and like it would also like do the burp again that he did after it. It was really quite funny actually. I remember really liking that gag as a kid. Really liking that gag as a kid. My tongue is dehydrated. Hey Donut, how are you doing? Welcome. I was trying to figure out what I was doing here. I think... Okay, so activated is false, that's always true. Because we already said that activated becomes false when the game starts. That makes sense. Now the object itself doesn't scroll, it just gets into the view. Stayed up too late last night, flipping tired. Oh, sorry to hear that. Maybe I can wake you up by screaming very loudly into the microphone randomly. You'll never know when. It'll be a surprise. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You remember the episode where Jimmy turned his grandma into a baby and had to change her diaper? Interesting show. I hate this. I hate that. I hate everything about that sentence. You know, my friends and I have this running gag that Jimmy Neutron is like a young Elon Musk. Like just a horrible narcissist inventor kid. It's awful, because he's not like that in the show at all, but it's just really funny to just imagine like Jimmy Neutron is this horrible little shit. I don't know why, but it's really funny to me. Oh, if you're not seeing some messages, you can like select above the chat. It says top chat. If you click on that, you can select live chat. The live chat shows all the messages. Because sometimes, for some reason, YouTube will filter out people's messages randomly, and it is incredibly obnoxious, and I fucking hate YouTube. Right, the Jimmy Neutron movie. I don't remember much from that. Just that I saw it, but it didn't leave much of an impression on me. I like the show more. Yeah, I don't know what the hell is up with YouTube. I mean, I know what's up with it. It's a flipping greed-driven, horrible shit show of a company. But where else can I go? Twitch? Like that is much better. Jimmy Neutron movie ain't bad. Alright, maybe I'll rewatch it someday, who knows. Bogus. Oh, I didn't even talk about my new avatar. I made another one. I like making little outfit variations for myself. This one is also used in the new pinned post that I use on Blue Sky. I like it a lot because I just really like this outfit. Maybe because of the F word? Maybe. Maybe it's like censors, you know, language. Who knows? That'll be stupid. Like, as a streamer, you should be allowed to select what you want and don't want to see in your own dang chat, you know? Let's see. If instance exists, I wonder if exists only applies to an object when it's inside the view. I think that might be it. So basically this would say that if the character is inside the view, and activated is equal to false, which does happen because it starts out as false, activated will become true, causing this entire line of code only to happen once. And then alarm 4 is activated, so after the object is activated, it will wait 50 steps to do alarm 4, and alarm 4 is shooting a bullet. I think that's what this means, but I just don't quite remember if instance exists only applies when an object is inside the view. Weird. I guess so. That's the only explanation I can think of. None of your messages are going through. Just shows the red try again message. What the shit? Wait a minute, are you XP farming again? You silly Billy. Alright, okay. But yeah, that's the thing I wanted to showcase since the beginning, like how I set up the spaceship objects to not be active when they're outside of the view. And I think that's just what this does. It works, so hey, I'm happy about that, but I wanna... That's the thing, I wanna understand it. I wanna understand what I'm doing. Even if when I'm doing a tutorial, I feel like I need to know what it is. I need to be able to just do it on my own later. Because otherwise it's never gonna click, you know? Like, I need to, at some point, get better and faster at this, you know? So that's why I really wanna understand what I'm doing. And write all this stuff down. You did wake up to one of your OC arts getting a lot of attention. It's an OC you hadn't even posted on main before. Oh, cool. Good for you. Speaking of OC art, I should show some of the art that I've been making or posting on Blue Sky. I'll see if I can do that later. I always like to do that on streams because I know some people don't follow me on Blue Sky, and I'd still like to show them my stuff. Okay, now I'm a bit lost for what I want to do next, because I wanted to show that object, because I was interested in how exactly I got that to work. Now there's all this other stuff here. There's the dialogue stuff. That worked, even though the options were like shown in different spots, like I would have to fix that. Here's like here's the underlying code for text boxes and all that stuff. And showing like the character portraits. Basically like this entire box, like all the stuff that's in here, it sets up the things that you can then define in this one. That's like character left, Aster, and then the specific sprite that will be used for that. Like Aster is the name that will be on screen, and sprite A neutral is the exact image that will be shown. And then the text hello world is shown. And then when you press a button, it will go to the next text action, which is this one, and then to that one, and then to this last one, and then when it's out, it will go to the next room or something. Like something will happen. YouTube! Is it still being annoying? Hello world. Of course you start with hello world. But yeah. I've shown pretty much all the stuff that I've made, except for like concept art and things. You literally just made an OC yourself named Aster? Hey, awesome. The world can use more Asters. But yes, that's the name of the character. Main menu. This one. This art looks a little wonky. It was done in Paint 3D and then I drew over it, but it's, Don't love it. Dialogue test room. I was setting up a bunch of stuff here. Let me see if I can get the different main menu. Okay, this is the title screen, and then this is the main menu. And this is our tutorial, and this is the workspace. Okay, I'm just trying to familiarize myself with this. Ah, you can set the dialogue here, okay. Topic for the scene. Okay, so every dialogue room will start with an object that basically just creates the dialogue thing. And also you can like right click it and then set a different topic for it. So if I go to topics, this topic is hot dogs. And this one is breakfast. Now it was set to breakfast, wasn't it? That's the thing. Like the one we got was breakfast. Let's see, start. Okay. Interesting. So why did it not do why did it do hot dogs and not breakfast? Why did it do breakfast and not hot dogs is what I'm wondering. Maybe because it's not capitalized? I want to do the hot dogs one. I want to see if it works. Topic for the scene. Start dialogue. Topic for the scene. Okay, let's check it out. 1 second. I'll have to switch on over again. We just make a new screen source for that. There we go. Okay, that is on top of everything. That's awesome. That is great. That's what I wanted. But you know, just in case we don't want that, let's do it like this. Okay, so this is the original room. This is the title screen. This is the main menu. And when I click the button, I go here. No, it still does the pancakes one. Or the breakfast one. So I wonder, why does this not work? Am I in a different room right now? I did save, didn't I? Let's see, starts. Is there anything happening with this thing? Dialogue controller. What does dialogue controller do? Let's check it out. Object dialogue controller. Should be in one of these folders, I bet. Testing. I don't even see it anywhere. Dialogue controller. What the hecky deck? Where even is that? Testing. No. You didn't ask her for this, but here we are. Let's see. Vinny Vine's videos, including the ones when he says... Have I seen Vinny Vine's house? Oh, yeah, sure. I've seen some of his videos. I'm not that familiar with him. Also, Grogdev. Hello, how are you? When your friend suggested the name Aster, you just accepted folks would make a bunch of Gaster jokes? Hey, so far I've had none of those with my characters, so who knows? Maybe Undertale has died. Finally. Aster Blaster. What the heck? There's an object here called Object Dialogue Controller, and I can't find it anywhere within, like, the objects. Gaster sounds like someone who would fart a lot. Right, no. Am I listening to the Impossible Lair soundtrack? Yes, I am. Because I like it a lot. Can tell from the aggressive ukulele. Expect more of an Asterix joke. Heck yeah. Asterix comics are awesome. Maybe the object is somewhere over here. Text box 1. Weird. Control T for asset search. Oh my god, you're a genius! I didn't know about this one yet. Is it the same as the asset browser in the top right over here? What was I looking for? Something, dialogue. Object dialogue controller. Alright. Cool. So, where was it? It must be like in one of these folders, right? That's the thing. Or is it... oh, there's a folder down here that says Dialogue System Experiment. That's where it is. That's where it is. Okay. Thanks for the help, though. I appreciate it. Undertale's far from that. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course. Of course. I'm merely joking. I'm flipping love Undertale. It's so cool. Even though I've never played it, it's just something that really resonated with me when I watched other people play it, you know. Sans costume. Yeah. You use this one 90% of the time. Asset search bar. The top right is good for finding the folder, though. Ah. I'll keep that in mind. Now, it seems this is an object that doesn't do anything. It doesn't have a parent, it doesn't have variable definitions, it has nothing. I guess this was just like a text thing. A testing thing. Huh. Interesting. Now, why does object cutscene start? It says the topic for hot dogs. That's what you would expect it to do, at least. Because when it does the code start dialogue and then topic for this scene. However, when we play the game, it does the breakfast one. Interesting. This one's called Hot Dogs, and it's supposed to be like a little conversation between Aster and Jazz. But it goes with breakfast. Even though it said the hot dogs. Now, I wonder... Huh. It does just say hot dogs. Is it supposed to not have the, thingies? The thingies. You know, the things. The little things on the side. Those things. The things. The things. The thing for Cusco. The thing. Yes, of course. Okay, let's try again. We're just testing. So... Nope, it still does this one for some reason. Maybe this is just like a whole different room we're in right now. That's what I'm thinking, because there's a test object here that I'm no longer using. What if we just close dialogue test and we go to our rooms over here? There is a room called dialogue test, and there's also one called dialogue test _1, and this is probably the one we need. Is it though? Huh. Yeah, because dialogue test is entirely black. The Sonic diet, hot dogs on breakfast. This stream is fueling you for ideas about a Chris Firewalker game. You should probably keep it to yourself though. Hey, feel free to talk about it. It's whatever. I'm always curious to hear people's ideas and stuff. If you would just want to bounce ideas, then I'm happy to listen. And yeah, there's no better moments to just try making a game, you know? Properties. Variables. It says breakfast here. Why does it not say hot dogs? What was I doing then? Interesting. Hot dogs. Huh. What exactly was I doing then? This was the same room, right? Dialogue test 1. Let's try again. I don't know what the heck that was. That was odd. Let me find out. Yeah, it works! I can show like the dual character projects. Character portraits. Like here's Aster. And then there's Rogue, who's supposed to be on the right side of the screen, but I was still working on that. The export hasn't been programmed yet. Yeah, well, not my problem, answer the question. I'm going to punch you now. There we go, and then it goes back into the game. Which I can't quite seem to control with the arrow keys properly. For some reason, I messed something up there in the code. I don't know what. It does work with the controller. Hey, the animation works now. I think. No, it doesn't. Never mind. It does work with the keyboard. Like, see the animation changes. Like the it tilts to the left and right. And like when I brake, it cuts out the afterburner, and when I go faster, it makes them bigger and brighter. Okay, so I messed up the keyboard controls somewhere along the way. That's okay. And for some reason, when I use a controller, the animation doesn't work. There must be something up there. I gotta say, it feels pretty good with the controller. Like, I genuinely like how the controls played out. Sound effects quite nice too. there's like health and stuff, and there's 1-ups, and there were power-ups too. Ah. Hey, Fulsha, hello. Very nice, looks great, thank you. How long have you been using GameMaker, and do you plan on streaming more of it? Maybe? I'll be completely honest, I have no idea. Because I have trouble, I'm noticing, when I'm just kind of doing this. Like, let's go back a couple steps. I started streaming this because I was stuck on this project for a very long time. I haven't opened this in a very long while, like months at least. And I'm not quite sure why. And I wanted to figure out why, and I thought, like, I'll just show this on stream to people and talk about it. It'll at least be nice to have something to show to my viewers. And also maybe I'll get some thoughts along the way about like why I didn't continue this project for some reason. So I don't know if there will be more streams, but I am noticing that while I am doing this, I'm having trouble like just sitting down and actually writing some code, you know? Like that's the thing. I have trouble like just now doing the boring stuff, basically. Like looking up tutorials and all that. Like doesn't seem like very good stream material. I suppose, and I am not like new to GameMaker. I have made stuff before, especially in high school. I used to do like a lot of GameMaker stuff, but only recently kind of got back into it at the start of this year, but then fell out of it again. So I know some of the basics, but not enough to just make a game without any tutorials or help. I do know some couple of things. Like I can make a simple game right now. Like I could make Pong. That's something, but. That's about it. So I don't know if there will be more streams of this, because I find that the actual coding part would take my skill level to be a lot better than what it currently is. I would have to do a lot of stuff without tutorials, otherwise it would just be me watching tutorials and then replicating that. And that could be a fun stream, I guess, for some, but it's not really something I want to stream, because I don't know, I think I'd feel too self-conscious. That's the thing too. And I already felt self-conscious doing this because it's an unfinished little game that I haven't actually done much with, except for, you know, all the stuff that's here, which I am proud of, really, but, I don't know. I'd feel too self-conscious because I want to entertain people with my streams, and, when it's just me doing tutorials and reading text and just trying to get something right, I don't know if that would work. Those are just my honest thoughts right now. Maybe it'll change, who knows. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Your idea of stylist-focused RPG where you explore islands with a jet ski, Sonic Rush Adventure style. Hey, hell yeah, I love Sonic Rush Adventure. Turn-based combat alternating between physical, Undertale style and magical, drawing spells. Nice. Sounds cool. Oh wait, I missed one very important character. Very important comment. Can you make a random enemy that appears only once and explodes shortly after appearing for no reason? Yes, I can. Why don't I do that right now? You know, fuck it. What else am I gonna do? I'm going to make an object that's so epic and cool. It's gonna make you shit your pants and then explode. Check this out. I'll make an object called object underwear. It has a sprite. I'll set the sprite to something. It'll be the enemy ship. Alright, the chasing enemies. Those were there. I forgot about them. The falling object. Okay. Now it's created. When it's created, it's going to fly upward with the same speed as the ship. So I just wanted to go from left to right on the screen. At least that will make sense. Yeah. Let me see. The falling one. How fast does it go? HP. Slowing down compared to camera. Y minus is 3. It goes up by the speed of 3. Okay. How fast is the ship? Saw blades. Right, I had like falling saw blades. They were really cool. I like those enemies a lot. Like there would be like a flash of light coming down, and then you would have to like dodge out of the way using your dodge move. But I was looking for the player object. Object player 1. Axis room width divided by 2. Okay, so it always starts in the center. The keys. Shoot key. Object camera dot scroll speed. Okay, so it's defined in the camera object how fast the ship goes, because I want the camera always to be in sync with the player character. That makes sense. Scroll speed is 6, okay? So, now that we know this, we go to object underwear. V speed is -6. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Now, hold on. I'll need to read your description again. Only appears once, explodes shortly after appearing for no reason. Okay. Alarm 0 is... Let's see, after like 3 seconds. So that's 180 steps. How do I write alarms again? Because I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Duty calls gotta go by. Hey, see ya. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I thought it was something like this. Let me check with another object that uses a timer. Alarm. Did I spell alarm wrong? Hold on. Underwear. Alarm? No, it says alarm. What's the issue here? Non-existent alarm. Okay, well, I'll just make the alarm then. How about that? There. Am I good enough for you now, GameMaker? Am I? Okay, there's the alarm 0. Okay, now what does it do? It will instance destroy. It will just destroy itself. And I'm going to parent this to the object killable, because we know that the killable object has only one thing, and that's that a particle system appears. Rubble, and like it says the depth of that, and it says the position of that. Now I can check out the particles real quick to show you what that is. This is a particle I made. It's just an explosion and then some rubble. Can I restart this somehow? Ah, there we go. Just a simple explosion I drew. And then some rubble flying off. This is satisfying. I like clicking this a lot. Alright. Okay, that seems to make sense. Now, if we were to put this in the tutorial room. Ship spawns over here. Enemy ships come over there. Let's just remove these. They don't need to be here. How do I select them? Enemy layer. Delete. Now what we're gonna do here is get the object underwear and drag it over here. Now what should happen is that this thing just moves to the right. It doesn't move to the right yet. I forgot about that. Let's do that, because it's funnier. Object underwear. There we go. H speed is like 7 or something. 8, sure, whatever. Works for me. Alright, it's good practice to put like these behind your lines, I heard. So I shouldn't forget. Let's see if this works. Let's find out. I have no idea. Okay. Nope. This one. I saw something move at the top of the screen. Did you see that too? It's too high up. But there is something there. And it was moving at the right speed too. There we go. Just move it down a lot. I think it's moving to... I think it shouldn't take so long for it to explode. Now, let's see. The alarm should be... 100 and... just 100. Whatever. Let's try it. There it is! We did it! Science prevails! Is it because the controller is plugged in? There we go. When the controller is not plugged in, it seems to be working just fine. See? There it is. Now it works with the animations and everything. That's cool. That's very satisfying. I like how the I want to have like even more punch to it when you're like flying. This is a nice start. Like it tilts. Yeah, it's because of the controller being plugged in. It will detect that the control stick is not being like tilted in any direction. And then the keyboard controls just won't do anything. Like it's fighting each other. Hey, that works! There you go. Object underwear. This is good practice. I feel conflicted about this. I'm so glad to be back into this file. Like, genuinely. And I'm very glad people have joined for this. Watch me just do random crap with this. But am I gonna continue this, like, after I close the stream? I wonder. And should I? Do I even want to? Man. So many thoughts that I've been having about this game for the past couple of months. There's a really powerful input library for GameMaker called, well, Input. It handles device swapping for you as well as a ton of other useful stuff. I'll look into that, thanks. I did, there was something specifically I did for the controller. Where was it? There's like a whole thing. Scripts. Gamepad variables. It makes like an array and stuff. I don't know. I looked up a tutorial. I didn't understand like half of it. It was incredibly difficult. Controller stats. There's like all this. No, wait a minute. This is a different one. This is a different one. Input. Object input, probably. It has like an async system, and I don't know what any of this does, to be honest. I understood a little bit of it when I was doing it. But it is... this shit's really complicated. Like, of course, like when the controller is in there, like it needs to... like when the controller is plugged in, so it detects the controller. One of these values will be equal to true, I guess. And then, of course, I need to, in the game, like the player object, will need to somehow disable the keyboard controls, which are over here. Yeah, here's like the gamepad controls. It needs to like disable this. Ugh. Complex. This stuff's hard. Might be nice to say you finished the game with your characters. Yeah, exactly. I would love that. But it's a lot. It is a lot. And I know it just starts with like the first step, you know. You gotta do things one at a time. But it's so much. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm thinking way too big. The thing is though, like this is just like the basics. This is just like, oh, controller input and all that. Man. With input, instead of checking buttons, you check actions. So like input check shoot, and then gamepad or keyboard or anything else can be mapped to shoot. I see. That makes sense. Is it something like what I'm doing here, I guess? Who knows? Let me have some more water. There we go. I'm surprised I've been able to keep going for like an hour. Have you heard of Loungeware? Open source WarioWare-like made in GameMaker. Anyone can submit a 4 to 10 second game and the platform itself is really polished. If you want something finished. Oh. Sounds interesting. I like that idea. Anyone can play. It's a really cool platform, playable in a browser too. That sounds awesome. Like genuinely, that sounds really cool. I don't know if it's for me. Like that's the thing. I want to make big things. I probably should start smaller, but the thing is, I really want to make like, this thing, for example. And this already felt like it wasn't too big. Like this was already just like, oh, I'll make the dialogue system and I'll make like levels with where you shoot stuff. And that's all it needs to be. Maybe a map, maybe controller input, maybe all that extra stuff, but like the main thing doesn't seem too big. And maybe I'm worried too much about like the smaller stuff on the side, like controller input and all that. Maybe that's something I'll have to keep for later. Instead of getting into it like immediately. Yeah, what have you been working on anything fun? Like what kind of games do you make? Hold on, I'm gonna write some stuff down. Like this stream was for me to like get some thoughts out regarding game development and all that. And one of these is that I hadn't noticed before is that I start on quote-unquote details. Like controller input. And these are all things I can add later, you know? As long as I understand most of the code, I can always go back to it and like figure out how to do it. But the thing is also like I want to make sure I get this stuff right in the base game. Because if I have to add it later, I might have to change like a lot of stuff around if I don't take it into account. So yeah. Making a virtual pet in GameMaker, awesome. 3D. 3D even. I know there's some 3D stuff in GameMaker that's possible. I've seen some very impressive things. But I know that GameMaker isn't really built for it, if I recall correctly. And also people can make Doom in it. I know you can technically get Mario 64 in there, but it's, you know... Sorry, I'm just writing some stuff right now. 1 second. Right, okay. You have a micro game and loungewear. Cool. Sounds nice. Anywho. I'm surprised I've been able to stream for like an hour. Like there's really not that much content here, but it's I'm glad it's been interesting. People have been asking questions and like showing interest in this stuff and just talking about their own game stuff. I really appreciate that. This has been a fun stream so far, and it's thanks to you gamers. I appreciate that. What else can I look into? There's a lot going on with this. Thing is, if I were to get him back into the game like right now, I would have to like relearn what all these things do. And that's intimidating. It would be easier to start from scratch. Maybe that's why I always started from scratch. Like when I was making games in high school. That I would very often just begin anew. But of course, that's no way to do it. Like that, you're always going to be starting from scratch because if you ever take a break from a project, you need to get back into it. I need to learn how to get back into a project once I haven't worked on it in a while. I feel like that's the key here. Oh yeah, totally. Feel free to link it. No problem. Women's clothing. Alright, let's see. You know what? I think I'm gonna call it here for the GameMaker stuff, but I can open a canvas and just doodle for a little bit, or at least show you some drawings that I've been working on recently, because I am quite proud of the stuff that I've been making. Let me see. This one can go. And then we close that one. Change the description as well. Just vibing. Gosh, I really like this new avatar I drew for myself. I love that jacket, that's so cool. And those pants. You know what? I can just open my flipping blue sky. Let's see. Like your stream background too. Thank you. I made this a while back for a thing I was doing called the Wario Warathon, where I played through most Wario games. Hence the W pattern thing that's going through it. Now let's see. If I just got this on the screen. If I switch over to... There we go. There we go. Have a quick peek at my blue sky, what I've been posting over here. Because there are some bangers. Let's see. First of all, I got a new pinned post. Let me just mute that and go like to the start. Whoop. Don't need to show the music. Check this shit out. That's really big. There we go. I like being able to just have like a little video at the top of my profile that shows some of the recent stuff I've been making. Like my characters. And of course a little stream promo. And that's it. Short but sweet. What else have I been working on? Let me adjust the screen for a bit. Pac-Man emotes. Yeah, it was specifically to do some tests for pushing the character design of Pac-Man. Let me just go by art posts. And then latest. Drew this one today. This is Aster, but in a different outfit. I thought it would be fun to do like a drawing challenge for people. Like, hey, draw one of your characters in what you're currently wearing. Just see how it looks. And I thought it would be very fun to draw Aster in a more casual outfit instead of the like battle suit that she's usually wearing. What else? This is a thing I drew a while back. Also with Aster and Jazz. Like based on his one frame from Amazing Digital Circus. This is me as a Pac-Man ghost. Thought it would be cute. Also, a flipping transformation. Because in Pac-Man arrangement, when the ghosts like fuse with the yellow one, Kinky, they turn into like different kind of ghosts. They become like, they get like different powers and stuff. And I thought it would be cute if I turned into like my Banuki character. Also the flustered blue version. What else? The pinned post. All the Pac-Man expressions are here. They were like uploaded in like separate batches. Thought it would be fun to do. Like they're all based on, like some of them are based on expressions that Pac-Man has had. Oh yeah, the sketches over here. Some of the expressions are based on expressions that Pac-Man has had throughout the games. Like for example, like the little like rounded eyes when he has them closed like that. That's based on something from Pac-Man World 3, for example. And there's a bunch more over here. Some of them are like very wacky. But I tried to like not push it too far. Like I tried to make them... how do I say this? I tried to make it like as if Namco was like actually redesigning Pac-Man just a little bit to make him more expressive, but stay as close as possible to the actual model, you know? So that's why it's not like super over the top. I tried to really base them on expressions that have existed in Pac-Man before, or something that could realistically be pushed onto Pac-Man's face if they had like a very expressive rig for him, without breaking the actual character sheet. So like certain design rules are there, like always the pointy eyebrows, like the eyes always need to have that particular shape, except for like some very extreme expressions. But most of it I try to like stay as on model as possible. As if it would be like realistically an actual redesign for the character. Also Bean! Just Bean. Thought it was cute. Flood. This one is from a previous stream where we actually drew that. Also Puka with legs. This jacket is so cool. I love this one. Pac-Man. I think I've already shown like most of these on stream before. This one was from a recent video. Yeah, I've talked about this one. If you want to check out my Mark's whiteboard videos, like I do a speed draw of this one and explain what it actually means. Banuki Doodle. And a bunch of Pac-Man. I've shown the rest of this. This is the art for the Pikmin 4 streams. I'm sure some of you have seen because they're very fun. More of that some other time. And a bunch of other stuff. You know where to find it. If you go to my profile and you click like the art tag, you do post by user, you can see all the art immediately. Or you can just scroll through it, you know. Yeah, that's about it. Anywho, I'm gonna call it over here. This was a fun stream. I'll be doing some other stuff. Glad I got to show some of my art as well. Hope to see you next time. Don't know if there will be more like game streams or whatnot, like where I program for a bit, or I'll be doing something else. Probably next time will be Pikmin, where I take where I go back where we left off last time. That'll be nice. See you next time.